Hey guys, Chuck Shumway here, the car guy. I work at Southgate Ford, and as promised, I wanted to come on tonight to give some advice about buying a car with bad credit. So, first off, let me make you understand this. I am not going to benefit monetary wise by anything with this video because at Southgate Ford we do not deal with subprime financing, which is bad credit. And also, I would like to take my 30 years experience and try to wrap it up under 10 minutes if I can. I don't know if I can or not, but there's some things that you need to know. And I'm choosing to do this right now because, for one, I'm out there all the time with all of my social media, not just Facebook, but everywhere. And people are always asking me, what kind of credit score do I need to get this vehicle? Or what can you help me with bad credit? And unfortunately, I can't help with bad credit. But if you would like to, and I want you to remember this, if you would like to stop in and let's structure a deal and send it to Ford and see what they say, I can. If they say no, I can help you and direct you to a place to maybe where you can get help at. Okay, so let's start with credit score. Just because you've got a low credit score doesn't necessarily mean that you will have bad credit to the lender if it's a lender like Ford Credit or GM or Chrysler or something like that. But just because you have a high credit score doesn't mean you've got good credit. Because you could have a high credit score but only have one line of credit. Maybe you got one credit card and you paid it on time. That doesn't mean you've got good credit. That means that you paid that one account on time. So there's many things that's involved in a credit score, and the lenders are not necessarily always looking at that. So let's get that out in the open right away. Okay, so the reason you can believe what I'm saying is because before I got back on the floor and back in sales and started with absolutely no clientele, past customers or anything, I was managing what was called subprime dealerships. And I did that for over 12, maybe 13 or 14 years out of the 30 years I've been doing this. And the difference between what we did and what everybody else does is this, because I've always wanted to help the customer, and we sold a lot of cars, we helped a lot of people, but there are certain lenders that are involved in subprime lending that everybody uses. So don't think that you're going to go to the guy that names the store after himself on one corner and the guy that has a Ford or a Chevy or a Chrysler sign in front of the dealership on the other corner and think you're going to get anything different as long as they deal with these same lenders or collection agencies, we like to call them. So we're going to start out with what is subprime. Subprime is a lender that will advance. Now, advance, when we say advance in the car business, that means how much will a lender give on a particular vehicle. So I have people that come to me and say, I got this certificate from my credit union that says that I can buy a car for $15,000. And they go out in the lot and they want to look at a car for $15,000. That does not mean that they will finance you on any car for $15,000. It's all about book value. So when you look at an NADA or a black book auction value, take your blue book and throw it out the window. Blue book doesn't mean anything to a lender, okay? It's black book, which is Manheim auction, and NADA, which is also Manheim auction. Lenders will lend up to 120%, maybe a little bit more if you got good credit, of the NADA value of that car. So this is where your down payment comes into play, because when they ask you for down payment, basically what they're asking you for is the dealership's profit. Because what you don't understand that goes on behind the scene and the customer and the dealership can't do is they can't charge you what's called a discount. That subprime lender will charge the dealer, and they call it a discount, but it's not a discount, it's a charge, up to 20% of the amount financed. That's what the dealer has to pay that lender for putting you into a vehicle under bad credit financing. And you didn't know that. So here's the problem, okay? And I'm going to speak about a couple of lenders, which everybody probably has. And it used to be, back in the day, it used to be called Drive Financial. Today it's called Santander. And there's another one that everybody has that is involved in the subprime lending that is called Credit Acceptance, which is CAC. They're out of Southfield. And the reason I know so much about this is because I dealt with both of them. Santander's out of California. They will charge 24.95% interest rate, which is state limit, and they will finance anybody because they're getting, here's what happens. They take the vehicle that the dealership has, they charge them 20%, and then up front, because they already got their money, and then they charge you 24.95%. And I asked my rep one time when I was doing auto loans for my subprime dealers, I said, how many people actually get repoed? The rep told me 80% of the people that they give loans to actually have their car repossessed. So here's what happens. The car gets repossessed. They've already made 20% of the part of the loan. They take it to the auction. They sell it for what they can. Maybe they get a 6 months or a year out of you at 24% or almost 25%. They've made their money. Okay, so they're not in this business to lose. Okay, so here's what the problem is. I've got a lot of people that came to me with trade-ins, and I get appraisal, and they say they owe credit acceptance. And the first thing you're going to see at another dealership is if they owe credit acceptance, the people are going to go, whoa, you got bad credit, it's bad. You know what? Credit acceptance, believe it or not, is an awesome institution for getting a vehicle. Okay, unlike the people that advertise buy here, pay here. Buy here, pay here stores or dealerships are most likely going to be your mom and pop stores on the corner, and they will not report to the credit bureau or build your credit. Most of them will not report unless you don't pay, and then when you don't pay, then they report, and it makes you look bad. But for the most part, buy here, pay here, unless you're looking to just get a car and get to point A to B and get to back and forth to work, buy here, pay here is not going to help you build your credit. Credit acceptance will help you build your credit. Santander will help you build your credit, but there's going to be a price to pay. So let's go back to CAC. And the reason I know so much about CAC is because I managed a store for the creator of CACs, which is out of Southfield. It was Don Foss, and those of you that are old enough can remember the Don Foss dealerships around town. And I can go into and tell you the whole story of how he began. But I worked for his son, Bob Foss, and I ran his store out of Redford there, right on the border of Detroit. And we did a very good job. But he was very particular about how he trained me about who would get a car. And the problem with people that's doing subprime today is they have no clue. They're not there to help you. Most of them are there to let's put it this way. I've heard it called a one-night stand. And they're going to get as much out of you as possible, and they're going to direct you to this car and say, this is the car that you can buy with this amount of money out of pocket. And you get all strung up in this heat of the moment kind of thing, and you put it down, the down payment down, and you take this car that you don't want. It's got a lot of miles on it. You're paying too much in a monthly payment, and a lot of times it's a long-term finance contract, and you don't end up satisfying the contract. You end up with a repossession or a voluntary repossession where you just get sick of it and turn it in, and you blame it on CAC. You blame it on credit acceptance, the lender. Don't blame it on the lender, okay? They were willing to give you a chance. It's the dealership that chose the vehicle that you got, that gave you the vehicle with your down payment that they can make the most money on you, and they called you a one-night stand, okay? My obligation to you is, when I was in subprime, was to help you build your credit and come back to me so I can put you in a better car. So when you came into me, my first question, I trained my sales staff to say this: what do you need, a car or do you want a car? And if you want a car, I can't help you. But if you need a car, I'm going to help you. Okay? There's people that need a car that have bad credit. They got a little money to put down, and they need to get their kids to school. They need to get groceries and stuff like that. But if you want a car, there's nothing we can do for you when you got bad credit, because you're not going to pay for it if you want a car. Okay? So when you need a car, my obligation to you is to try to help you. And we sold 50 to 70 cars a month, and I don't care if I made more money or less money, and it was competition with a guy down the street, because at the end of the month I sold more cars than the other guy, and it made up for it. But I also helped the people that came to me that was broken down and hurting, and I would tell them, I would sit down and I would pull out the bureau and I say, listen, you haven't paid a lot of people, and this bank is willing to give you a chance, so let's go for something smaller. Let's go for something that's not so blingy, okay? You don't need that Charger or Hummer. you need to start out with this, okay? You make your payments on this. We pay it off as soon as we can. We bring you in. We put you with a lender that is more respectable in the credit world, and they're going to give you a better rate, and you're going to be on your way. So let's try to put you into a cheaper car. Not where I'm going to make the bank on you today, because that's not what I'm here for. Okay? So special finance is this. You got bad credit, all dealerships deal with the same lenders. Stay away from the buy here, pay here, unless you really don't care about building your credit. But if you really care about building your credit and you want to go into a dealership that deals with Santander or CAC, it's not the lenders that are doing you wrong. It's the dealerships that are doing you wrong. You do not have to take the car they say you have to take. You can walk out and go to the next guy. And what this information here that I'm giving you today is for is so that you go in and make right decisions. Get a cheap car. Pay it off quick. Get with somebody that's going to report to the credit bureau that will help you build credit so that eventually you can do those things that you want to in life and buy better cars and homes and stuff for your family. Don't listen to what people are saying when their only interest in helping you is to make a paycheck. Again, I have no reason for doing this video other than just telling you how to buy a vehicle if you have bad credit. I am always here to help you. I will never lead you in the wrong direction. But I made a bunch of notes that I was going to come on. I can't do notes. I got to shoot from the hip. It just, all these years of doing this business, I get the same question all the time: is what's my credit score got to be? How can I get a vehicle? You can get a vehicle by sacrificing now, getting a better vehicle than what you have right now, paying out in time, paying it off, and let's talk about getting you into something better. Now, down payment is profit for the dealership because of the 20% plus fees that the lenders charge the dealership. But when they ask you for things like references, they want 6 references: name, address, and phone number. They're not going to call those references. 90% of the time, they will never call those references. They want to know where that car is going to be if you don't make that payment. That's why they want name, address, and phone number, because you're only going to give name, address, and phone number of people that you know very well. So they're going to know where to look for that car. That's a secret that nobody knows, okay? So if you guys got any question at all about vehicles or trade values or CAC, bad credit, I'm here to help. I'm not going to run your credit online if you think you've got bad credit, because I'm not going to waste my time just to punch your ticket. If you got bad credit and you want me to seriously, earnestly try to get you bought on a new vehicle, then come on in. If you got good credit and you want something and you know that you can afford it and you got good credit, then just send me the VIN number. I'll give you the real payments because I don't charge doc fees. My A plan, Z plan, X plan is always going to be less. But I'm always here to help, and I'm going to be real with you. I'm a real guy. I've been doing this a long time. I don't need your sale. I want your sale. There's a difference, and I want a relationship with my customers. For so long, I was in management, and I didn't start out with clientele, but I do have clientele now because of what I've done and built on social media. But you know what? I'm here to help. 734-642-6681. If you've got any questions, don't feel shy about asking anything at all. It's all done in total privacy. But I'm here to help. And sorry this video is so long, but I just beware. Beware if you got bad credit. Beware. That dealership is the one that is out to make money on you. It's not the lender. It's not CAC. It's not Drive Financial, Santander. It's not these lenders that are out there screwing you, okay? They're giving you an opportunity. It's the dealership that is not finding the right car to fit your needs and your monthly obligations or payments to make you succeed later. If I put you in a $500 or $400 payment and I know you can't afford it, but I make a lot of money on you today, how is that helping you? I know you're going to default on that loan, and you're not going to be able to do what you wanted to do in life. So I'm not going to let you take that vehicle. It's the dealer's fault why you fail when you take a subprime loan. It's not the bank's fault. Quit blaming CAC. Quit blaming the lender. It's not their fault. It's the dealer that you bought it from. They're going to put you in the vehicle that they can make the most amount of money on you, because I've heard them say it before, it's a one-night stand. You're a one-night stand to them. If you got any questions, I cannot help you with bad credit. Can't do it. I don't have those lenders on board. I wish they would give them to me, because I would be able to help thousands of people. But because of all the messages I get, but I can't help you. But if you got any questions, if you need a Carfax, don't sign that contract until you talk to me. It's just that simple. Don't sign the contract until you talk to me. There's a lot of bad people out there, but there's also a lot of good people. Guys, have a great night. God bless. Thanks for watching. I hope I helped you. I hope I gave you some good information. But if you need some clarity on some things, just give me a shout. Talk to you soon.